Hi guys, Arissa Dia here, and I'm back with another K-pop reaction video. This one is going to be more of a commentary on the music video than on the song, just because I have reacted to this song before. I am going to be reacting to Golden Child's Burn It, but this time it is the drama full version of the music video, which means that it is going to be that zombie apocalypse story that we loved so much in the original Burn It music video, but I'm assuming hopefully extended and maybe without the dance part. So I'm super excited for that. In my original reaction to this, I did make a comment that I wanted more of the zombie apocalypse story. Like, I flat out said, like, if they made a zombie apocalypse movie, I would 100% support that and, like, buy it. And so I'm assuming this is that zombie movie that I asked for. So I'm super excited. It's a bit long, it's like 9 minutes long, but because I'm assuming it's more cinematic than, like, musical, I'm excited for it. So let's get into it. Oh, that siren sounds like really loud in my head. So I believe that they broke into, like, teams and stuff, because it seemed like they were all kind of separated in the original music video. I wonder if Donghyun's okay. He looked kind of like not in the best shape. Okay, yeah, so something's definitely wrong with Donghyun. Okay, so like half of them are together and then the other half are like split up. And there's some music. Okay, so I made a comment in the original that Tag doesn't actually get bitten. I believe that he just like falls and scrapes his leg. Because he, as far as I'm aware, he didn't actually turn. So, like, the girl started to turn, but like, Tag didn't. So I think Tag just like scraped his leg. I do have to say, it is nice of the girl to actually like look back to see if like Y was okay, because Y like self-sacrificed himself. I like how they just have like the song like just like kind of like instrumental in the background, so it's like you're not actually focusing on the song, but it's there. I'm surprised that there's still like supplies for them to like grab in the pharmacy. And yet again, I still don't like that she hides the bite. Like, I hate when people do that in zombie movies. What's bad is I think like Bowman actually knows that she's hiding it. My only issue with this is like, where did the zombies come from in the pharmacy? I'm really curious as to like what happened to Donghyun that like he's sick. I find it really interesting that like Y gets to the roof by like going through the window to get to the top. I don't know how like Korean buses are set up, but I know like on like American buses a lot of the time there are hatches at like the roof, so you climb onto the seats and you can go straight to the roof. So in case like the bus flips over onto the side, you can like get out. And again, it doesn't look like he has a... Okay, so Bowman does know. Okay, we were missing that in the original music video. We were missing that Bowman knew. Like, I had a feeling he might have, because like it took her a second to kind of like pull like her sleeve down, but I didn't know like fully that he like knew. He's so sweet. I would have killed her. I don't mess around with like zombie apocalypse stuff. Okay, but Jaehoon's like story is so sad. Like with his mom, like though I'm really surprised like his defenses don't look like they're super strong, and so like somebody could easily like break in. Okay, so this must be when she like leaves to go tie herself up. Which I do have to say, I do like respect her for like deciding to like tie herself up, but at the same time like there's so many issues. Yeah, that's like another thing with like this storyline is like Daeyeol like makes it back, and like Sungmin, Donghyun, and Jibum are like gone, which like they had a good reason to, because like zombies were like pounding on the door, but it's like they didn't say like where they went. And this still kills me because I don't think that's a bite mark. It doesn't look like a bite mark. It looks like he just skinned his knee. Like, he doesn't show any of the signs of turning. Like, she's turning pretty fast. So I'm like, did Tag actually get bitten? Also, are the lights flashing because she tied herself up, or is there like a different reason? I do have to say the gun firing effects are a bit bad. Like with the production like amount that went into like this, I am kind of like disappointed in the gun effects. I am glad that Jung-joon is safe, as far as I know. Oh good, the radios still like work. But I still don't know what's wrong with Donghyun. Like, he's not bitten, he just seems like he's sick. Jaehoon with his mother just like kills me. Like, I can't imagine like how it would feel to like have like your loved one, like your mother, like turn into a zombie, and like you have to like tie her up in order to like at least have her, but you don't really like have her. Like with the girl in the crush, like it's a bit different than like your mother. Like if my crush was turning into a zombie and I was somehow like surviving pretty decently in the zombie apocalypse, like, and they got bitten, like I would kill them. And like I would 100% expect them that like if I was turning, they would kill me. But like my mom, like I don't know if I'd be able to like do that. I'm also curious that like him hugging her like stopped her from turning for like a few seconds, but like not completely. And it's interesting that it stopped her from turning for like a few seconds, but like Jaehoon's mom doesn't like, I guess, revert back like even in the slightest. Granted, we maybe because she's already been turned by the time we see her, she can't like revert back, and it's only like the girl because she's still in the process of turning can do that. But I think that that's a really interesting concept, and I would love to like explore it more because I'm assuming like I wish they like gave us more because like I guarantee like she has to turn. Like there's no way Bowman just like hugging her in her final moments like stops her from becoming like a zombie. Like it doesn't work like that. So I really wish that they had like given us a like more conclusive ending, I guess is like what I kind of want to say is like because I like where they did end it where it is like kind of sweet in that like she like stops turning for like a second, but at the same time it's like at the end of the day we can make the educated assumption that she did turn, but my question is what did he do with her after? Like, if they were still hugging, she has very easy access to bite him pretty much anywhere. Like, he was wearing a pretty thick coat, but like, his neck, his face, his shoulder were like right there. So, it would be pretty easy for her to like bite him if she like did turn like in a second. But if he did like let her go, like did he keep her tied up there? Like, I do respect that she tied herself up, but if you look, she only tied herself up by her, like, one foot, and the cord that she tied it up looks like it's pretty long, so she has, I'm assuming, lots of, like, roaming power. Whereas, like, I feel like if I was tying myself up, I would have gone and, like, used it to, like, tie my body itself, like my chest and my stomach, to that, like, pole thing behind me instead of, like, just tying up my foot, because then I could still walk around and would be at risk of, like, harming somebody. Whereas if my entire body is, like, pinned to the pole, like, I'm not going anywhere. So, like, I can just sit there, kind of like how Jaehoon, like, when he tied up his mom, he tied her hands and like legs like bound to her like self so she can't move, she can't get up, she's stuck in a sitting position. That girl didn't do that. That girl tied her foot to essentially a leash. She's on a leash. So as a zombie she could still potentially harm somebody, whereas like Jaehoon, like his mom could technically bite him, but it'd be like really hard because he would really have to put himself in a situation where she could actually bite him. Whereas if he's just leaning his head on her shoulder like how he was, she can't turn her head because it's being blocked by his. So she can't bite him like that. Whereas if he were to go and give her like a full frontal hug, yeah, she'd bite his neck off. And so Jaehoon, 10 out of 10, like did a good job of like tying up his mom, and I do feel like my heart breaks every time I see that because I would not, like, I cannot imagine tying up my mom if she was in a state like that. Whereas like the girl, and like she tried but she just, I feel like she just missed the mark. And I understand that like they did that to have like that kind of like romancy aspect, but like I feel like the zombie apocalypse is not when you want to be having like a romancy aspect. Um, or like if you are going to have romance in the zombie apocalypse, like go into it with the understanding that, hey, if one of us is turning into a zombie, we need to like off ourselves. Like Jo Chan and like Tag were 100% like, oh, Tag's leg is bleeding. I still don't think he got bitten because he was not turning. I literally think he just skinned his knee. Or like they scratched him or something. I don't think he was bitten, so I don't think he was turning because he wasn't showing any of the signs that she was. And I'm assuming that this all happened at like the same time. Um, but he like immediately, like once they got to an area where like they weren't being surrounded by zombies, he literally just pulled that gun out and was like, okay, like I'm like either you shoot me or I'll shoot myself. And I feel like that's kind of what you need to do in a zombie apocalypse, is go into it with the, if I get bitten or severely injured, like I am collateral, like you need to like leave me, like I am not worth it. And that girl like was not doing that, and like I already kind of berated her in the original by just the fact that she hid the mark. I do like how this one showed that Bowman does find out about the mark, and so he does know that she was bitten before he finds her turning. So that makes me feel slightly better that she didn't just like keep it secret that entire time, but he did end up actually finding out. But still, the fact that she like hid it to begin with, I still don't like. But I really enjoyed that. I want to know what happened with Donghyun because he wasn't bitten, he wasn't turning. It literally just looked like maybe he had the flu or something. Because they were like taking care of him and he just looked like really tired. Um, and so I want to like know more about like what was wrong with him and like if like that group ever got back together, because that was like literally like half a golden child, because it was Jibom, Donghyun, Sungmin, and then Daeol and Jangjun. So that's literally half of like the group was in like a small group. And then Daeol and Jangjun obviously like left to go get medicine, and then they came back separately, and the other three were gone. So I do like how they showed that the radio still worked, and so they could find each other. But I really would have liked to see them like actually like get back together and like make sure like see like the medicine being given to like Donghyun and like things like that, and kind of see them like all come back. I wish I knew what happened with Y. Y literally was just stuck on top of the bus with a flare, and like he ditched his supplies in the bus because he needed to like get rid of it in order to go through the window. So I really want to know like what happened, because I'm just looking at the amount of zombies that were surrounding it. I don't feasibly see a way for him to like escape. Like it just seemed like that was the end. Like maybe somebody could save him, but at least out of Gulcha, like I don't think any of them were gonna be able to do that. Um, so that's kind of like, it's kind of sad to think about that he like ended up being like all alone, because like by the end of it, like Jaehyun and like Y were the only ones who were alone, but like Jaehyun at least had his mom technically, but he was like safe. He was in an area that wasn't being like bombarded. There weren't any zombies other than his mom, and his mom was like contained. So like Jaehyun seemed relatively safe, whereas like Y just ended up kind of like literally sacrificing himself so Bowman and the girl could get away, and then he ends up essentially stranded on top of a bus with nowhere to go but down, and down essentially just led to death. So it does make me feel kind of sad that he did kind of like have to sacrifice himself, and you can kind of tell that there's real no like there's not really an escape for him to like make it out of there alive. But overall, I really liked this. it was a lot of the original music video, but I did like the scenes that they added to kind of like flesh things out, especially because like with the whole like Donghyun's group, like you didn't know what they were really doing because you didn't see like Donghyun kind of like on the bus, like sitting down, feeling like he was sick. And so, like, immediately as soon as I saw that in this, I was just like, oh, something's wrong with him. And it kind of put into context, like, why he was, like, laying in a bed later on. Um, so I'm glad that this, like, added more context to the scene, and I'm glad that we found out that Bowman actually knew that she was bitten before she started turning and stuff. So I liked how this one added more context, but I do wish we knew the full story. And I do know that they are coming out with a webtoon for this. Well, technically it's a webtoon, but it's on Lazen Comics, I think. Um, so that I'm assuming is going to go more in depth and like fill out the storyline. I'm gonna have to actually download that app. I have Webtoon, but I don't have Lazen Comics, so I'm hoping that that will explain more, and I'm hoping that it's English, like that's translated to English, because I'm really interested in this like zombie apocalypse storyline. Like 100%, if they made a full length movie, like this one was 9 minutes long, so it's like only like 2 or 3 minutes longer than the original music video. But I really would just love like a full movie where it takes you through everything and like explains everything that's happening. I did like though that this was completely like silent. Like you didn't have like any words. Like they really just let like their emotions and like their actions show what was happening. And so I really love that because I feel like a lot harder to do something like that than to like act and like say what's going on. So I really enjoyed how they just showed rather than told what was going on. Um, I feel like that just really made it more emotional in a sense because like you're seeing like just the raw emotions instead of like hearing what they're saying because like what they're saying might not come across as emotional as just like the looks that like and the actions that they're doing and things like that. Like if Bowman had like given her the flowers and had said something, I feel like that would have broken like the sentimental value of him giving her the flowers as like a way of saying like it's okay. Like if he'd actually said it's okay, I feel like it wouldn't have been as emotional as it was to just see him like hand her the flowers. So that's just my take on it. I really enjoyed that. This was a bit of a longer video, but it was a longer thing that I was reacting to. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of it. If you guys would also like a full like Gulcha like zombie movie, because I would. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of it, if you liked it, if you didn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I release more K-pop videos on my channel or just other fun videos. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.